everybody, and welcome back to this Microsoft Flight Simulator stream. Happy Monday. The start of another week, the start of another challenge, and the start of another storm making its way to little old Ireland. Storm Francis seemingly on the way. Okay, what's going to happen here? So we're on the ground here in Kerry Airport, Echo India Kilo Yankee. We're in a little Cessna Grand Caravan, and we're going to tip around Dingle, Carrantool, and we might even ramble out to the Skelligs, just to do something a little bit different. I hope everybody is keeping very well this Monday. I want to say hello to Colonel Fork is here, David Shanahan, Echo India, Or4M is here, welcome aboard, Dale Kelleher, the Z3, Philip Green is here, Mr. Archer, how's it going? Daniel M is here, how are you, Daniel? Hope you're keeping well. Geek Brunley is here, and who else? Just people everywhere. Ian R. Fisher, good evening to you. X-Apron is here. The start of a perfect Irish production, he says. I don't know, it's awful windy. If you can see that weather sock, it's doing things. Strange things. King J 7914 is here, good evening to you. Kenneth Naughton is here, good evening to you, Kenneth. And Daza T Arab, he says, hi Captain Murph, I'm zipping around Ireland in a TBM at the moment. Yeah, I should have I think I should have picked the TBM, but well. Chasing Storm Francis is the title for this evening. So roughly the storm is 40 to 50 nautical miles, kind of coasting in from the south-ish west at the minute. So I thought it's due to make kind of landfall with rain in the next 30 to 50 minutes, and then we're going to have the winds starting to push in as well. So I reckon we might have to fly out just a little bit just to see kind of the madness. But the weather is already starting to pick up here. We're using the real world weather. It's actually working in the sim, which is nice. So if we pan our cameras here, we headed that way. And it looks okay. Kinda. Ethan Short is here. When and where is the storm going to make landfall? Parts of Kerry, certainly parts of Cork. It's going to sweep then up around the east coast. So it's going to possibly batter Ireland first, and then it's due to batter much of the UK. So our machine for today, which is the Cessna Grand Caravan, the 208, an aircraft I hold particularly close to my heart. I jumped out of one of these in much calmer weather, and it didn't go terribly well. It's already raining in real life. Interesting. But we're using real world weather. There are showers in the area, so I reckon once we get airborne we're going to see all sorts of craziness. But that is the plan. Ethan says, Wicklow has been a lovely and sunny day until in the last 30 minutes it's been cloudy. Oh dear. The Buzz is here, good evening to you. Hope you're keeping well, dude. Okay, so we have our ground crews working. There's wind a-howling. So we'll probably hear that once we start getting this machine up and ready. So first and foremost, go ahead and turn on our fuel tanks. We don't need any oxygen or stuff like that for the minute. Battery can come on. And we get some avionics working here as well. With our lights down, we can go ahead and get our recognition lights on, our nav lights and our beacon lights. Sure, we'll put on our no smoking and fasten the seatbelt and cabin lights. Mark Dixon says it's nice and calm in Mayo. That's good. Standby alternator power. I don't think we need that for the startup. Read your checklist, Smurf. Let's just leave it off because, well, that's just what's going to happen. So we have a quick look down here, make sure all our controls and stuff are there. So we're going to get a start on this machine here, and we're going to taxi out. The plan is we're going to fly around Dingle, cut across the bay, have a look at What's over that neck of the woods? Well, we have Glen Bay and Carsavine is a little bit further down. We might have a look at the Skelligs. They're not really greatly modelled, but they're there. But it might be interesting to see what the waves and the water effects are doing in a bit of high winds. And then we'll ramble back over Carrantoul. And then I reckon we're going to head over to West Cork. It's calm and leash for now, says Daniel. For now. Joel is here. Good evening to you. He says, I'm going to sit and do some coursework. Going to sit and have you on in the background. Well, hopefully your coursework doesn't suffer and you're not learning anything terribly important. Marius is here. He says, please turn off the no smoking light. Come on, be a rebel. It's going to be fun. Wesley Hartford is here. Good evening, Wesley. I hope you're having a pleasant Monday evening. And Undead Sneaky Bee. Evening, Murph. I've been enjoying the tours. I'm glad to hear it. It's only going to get worse because it's going to be a bumpy flight. Now, have we panel lights here? Let's see. Turn off this guy. Oh, yes. Here they are here. Very nice. Floodlights. I don't think we need floodlights. We might turn them on a smidgen. There we go. That's a bit brighter now and a bit more welcoming into the system. So what we need to do, we need to get our ignition set to on, and we're going to go for the starter. So we'll politely say, clear prop. And we'll go with starter number 1. Fuel boost. We need them. So we have the prop coming alive. We're looking for a rise in our ITT and torque. Once we do, we can introduce some fuel into low idle. Good thermals tonight, Captain, says the Bud. Or the Buzz. Yes, it should be fine. Care85 is here. He says, good evening, sir. Robin is here. Good evening, Murphy. My Guinness is ready to drink. I approve. Bad Dog is here. Yeah, it's really dark in Wicklow now. Can't see Bray Head anymore. Eek. Batty is here. Is the storm at Ireland? It nearly is. It's starting to pick up. We're getting a bit of crack here. So we go to high idle. ITT is good. RPM is good. Torque is good. Start and go to the off position. Battery can stay on. Fuel pumps. We'll probably leave them on just for our takeoff. So everything kind of looking half-ish all right there. As we zoom in here now, we get our avionics set up. Barometric pressure, we're reading 290.71 inches of mercury. We're going to set an initial altitude here of... Where's my altitude? Come hither, you slither. There we are. So we'll put 2,000 feet in initially. Turn our flight directors on just so we can see what's happening. We'll go ahead and set up our PFD to display some windage. 13 knots. Nice. Let's see. There's a storm at Ireland. Marty is here as well. How are you, Marty? Hope you're keeping well, dude. Plumpy Nut is here. How are you, Murph? First stream watching from thundery Belgium. Well, good evening to Belgium. And if it's thundery, I reckon it's going to be a bit like this as well. Adam Quinn is here as well. Good evening to you, Adam. Hope you're keeping well. It's thunder in Kerry. I'm scared. I'm terrified, man. I have to fly in this. And Rob is here as well. Good evening, Rob. So we can go back now to our transponder. I doubt we're going to have VFR, but sure, we'll turn it on for the crack. Let's go altitude mode on that. No alerts. We'll click back. We'll get some more lights on here now in a second. So we're going to get our landing lights turned on, get our strobes on here as well. And the no smoking light will come off just because we want to be a rebel. Okay. Only bad things shall happen. Okay, so we're going to take the parking brake off as we're going to spin around this dude. That was Johnny, Jamie, or Jacqueline, maybe. As we spin around here, you can already feel the wind on the plane. Is this real time, Murph? Asked Daniel. No, I brought it back to, I think I brought it back to about 1500 hours, just so we can kind of see the ground. Yeah, it's 1530 local time. This is the Cessna Grand Caravan EX. It comes, I think, with the standard version of Flight Simulator. So we have a fair whack of wind ahead of us, so we're going to go with 1 notch of flaps. That's the plan. Now I have noticed that you can really over torque this aircraft on your initial climb out, so we'll have to watch our revs. There's all sorts of creaking going on, but sure, let us see. Okay, so quick check on everything. Our lights are on. We have our squawk in our box, and engine settings are going to be just grand. Lead air. Turn it on. Fans don't need air conditioning. Nah, we're okay. We're going to get kind of fairly blown out of it anyway. Wipers at full speed tonight, Murph. Emlyn Farrell is here. Where are you flying to? So we're going to head out over Dingle. It'll take us out through... What's over that way? Castle Gregory. We'll fly kind of around Connor Pass, out by Dingle, then we'll cut across the bay and see what we can see. Keane Lafford is here. There's a lot of rain here in Kerr, he says. Oh dear. Skyfly Bry. What airfield are you flying? I'll try and find you. We're in Echo India Kilo Yankee, or Kerry. Mike is here. Good evening to you, Mike. Hope you're keeping well. Yeah. As David Shanahan says, it's his home airport. Right, are you ready? Because I'm not ready. But we'll give it a bash. So, parking brake coming off. Adding a bit of power. We want to keep an eye now, obviously, on our torque, not to over-torque it, and our RPM. So, there's kind of the torque limit. Come back to me. There we go. Airspeed is alive. It's slowly picking up speed. Have to do a small bit of dancing here with the rudder pedals. The wind is just kind of coming in at our 1 o'clock over the nose, kind of straight against us. There's 75 knots. We're getting light. 80 knots. We'll pitch up and rotate, and we're airborne. Nice and gentle for the moment. 14 knots coming against us, and it's more the gusts I'm going to be a little bit worried of, but let's see how they all go. As Cruising the Waterways has just subscribed. Many thanks, my dude. Happy Monday. I hope you're keeping well. There's 300 feet. Go ahead and bring in our flaps. And we're going to slowly but surely just watch our climb out here. And we're going to make a bank over to our left. And yeah, we're picking up a bit of bounce already. David Shanahan says, Microsoft is crazy. It's raining so much now. Well, give it time. Give it time. Andy Shaw says, can you see a weather radar or just wind speed? I think we have a weather radar as well. But just bear with me as we have 30 knots pushing against the front of our little aeroplane here. So we're going to start our left turn. Elmo is now following. Many thanks, Elmo. Over in the world of Twitch. So tonight we're streaming live here on YouTube and over on Twitch. And to everyone on both platforms, good evening. I hope you're keeping safe and you're tucked up somewhere kind of dry, warm and not windy. Because it's going to be nuts. Captain Phillips is here. Good evening to you, sir. He asks, how do you join? So you can go to Echo India Kilo Yankee, that's Kerry Airport. For this leg of the flight, I have the multiplayer option switched off, only because I have found that that's helping with the live weather. Many thanks to Liam Cunningham, who just subscribed. Skyfly says, I can see you 1 mile ahead of me. Okay, that's pretty good, so. Plumpy Nut is now following. Many thanks, my dude. So we're kind of going a westerly direction. Now we're just after jumping over 2,000 feet here, so let's go and try and sort ourselves out, shall we? So the autopilot, we're going to go to heading mode and lock that in. Autopilot on. Heading mode active. Altitude, we're going to V-nav it. No, we're not going to V-nav it, Murph. You're going to V-speed it. And we're going to drop down just a little bit. Because as long as we stay underneath that cloud base, I think we're going to be grand. So let's see how this is all looking. These avionics, turn them down a smidgen. And we're going to go over here to our map, and we want to see weather. So we're going to keep an eye on this. It's giving us 5 nautical miles. I reckon we want to extend that out. Yeah. Yeah, kind of 10 to 15 nautical miles is going to be grand. Current altitude, we can probably lower it. We might go to 2,200 feet initially and see what happens. So we're going to go to V-speed and we're going to go down. The nose of the airplane tries to dip in the craziness. That is good old Irish weather. And we're going to head straight out west now, so our plan is keep Dingle on our left hand side. It is fair blowy, he says. It absolutely is. I'll be flying the microlight. That's the way to do it. Michael Gremlin is here. Good luck flying the plane. Many thanks, my dude. David says it's very windy here now. It is. We're getting kind of 32 knots behind us, so our airspeed and ground speed is going to differentiate. Michael says, is this Twitch or YouTube? It's actually both. Adam Quinn says, it won't let me donate. Don't worry, Adam. There's a super chat on YouTube, and there's kind of like a donation thing there, and there's a donation thing on Twitch. But don't worry about it, dude. Save your few spondules, put them into your sim. So we're going to bring up our little VFR map, because we have our own little map kind of turned off. And Murphy, don't get lost. You've only started. So we want to go to the right of these mountains, I do believe, because this will be the Dingle Peninsula. So we'll swing over here to the right, and a smidgen more, and we'll stay on this heading until we get over the mountains, and we need to keep these guys on our left hand side as we venture down across Dingle, or at least that's the plan. EL Towley asks, is this X-Plane? No, this is Microsoft Flight Simulator. David says, I'm in a tent in my back garden in Kerry, and it's very windy. Keane Gibbon says, thanks for reminding me there's a storm. Had to get ready for it. The joys of the West Coast. Indeed. Good to see you, Keane. Hope you're keeping well. David Ryan is here. He says, bruh, how's it going? Mark Pendleton is here. Good evening to you, Mark. Hope you're keeping well. Oh dear. David says, my power just went off for 10 seconds. This is the start of it. Keane Lafford says the weather radar doesn't look too happy. It kind of doesn't know what to expect, as we're kind of frightfully low here. But it's the simulated horror. It's grand. They won't mind. David Shanahan, it keeps coming up. David, autocorrect. Why? I'm unsure. Hardley is here. Hello. Where are you headed today? So we're going to head over Dingle Peninsula. Just kind of fly around Kerry, and we're going to head down to maybe the Skelligs just to check them out. Skellig Michael, and I think you've Big Skellig, or the larger of the Skelligs. And you have, is it Puffin Island? You can see clearly I've done plenty of research for tonight's stream, which is always kind of the bedrock of any stream. Hadley has just subscribed. Many thanks, my dude. So we want to kind of handrail these guys rambling out this way here. And I think Pat Spillane has a pub in Castle Gregory. Pat loves his Gaelic football. Pat Spillane. X Terrates is here. What's your favourite airport and why? I do like Donegal. Because, well, I've been there. And the approach is seemingly the most scenic approach in the world. And it's very far away. Skyfly Bright says, I'm overhead Dingle. Nice. Ethan Short says, anyone up for a game of footy while the storm is on? Yes, but I'll play from left to right. Clearly there will be no advantage. 70 miles per hour winds at my back. It'll be grand. It's worse than Ellen, says David. That's never a good sign. As Ozymandias is now following over on Twitch. Many thanks, my dude. I hope you're having a pleasant Monday evening. The start of another week of crazy, perhaps. Aaron says, I love your videos. Many thanks, Aaron. I hope you're keeping well, dude. Adam Quinn says, when will I use VATSIM? When I can get it working correctly on Microsoft Flight Sim. Soon, I would imagine. Now, let me see. We can definitely adjust things here. And we're going to head due west-ish. which I kind of do. So over this neck of the woods, heading out towards Dingle, you have Castle Gregory, and that's kind of like a beach camping resort place. It's nice. Not particularly today, but it is nice in general. And you then have a mountain range kind of between the north part of the peninsula and where Dingle is on the south. And beautiful mountains. And there's a road that leads in between said mountains, and you go all the way up. There's a little waterfall, and you go all the way down. And that area is called Connor Pass. And if you Google Connor Pass, the views are absolutely breathtaking. Beautiful. Ian Yates is here. He says hi from Australia. Good night or good morning? Good morning, nearly. Ian, I hope you're keeping well, dude. Skellig Moore August Skellig Biog says, Keen, many thanks, Mahon Buchel. Gabriel says, you will surely be flying over Mall's Gap down into Killarney. That's the plan. We're going to come in over Carrantoul. I don't know if the cross is modelled in it, but sure, that's as close as I'm going to get to it this year. Skyfly Bryce says, I'm going to try land on the beach. Epic. Mark is asking, will the storm be over Exeter and the southwest? I'm out delivering for John Lewis tomorrow. Eek. Depending on your time tomorrow, I reckon it's going to hit kind of the southwest of England, probably 11 or 12 maybe. We shall see. Ethan says, attempt a landing on Inch Beach. Challenge accepted. Let's see what we can do. Mike says, Pat Spillane said that his postal address is... Fantastic. David Shannon says, I'm subscribed on Twitch and YouTube. Many thanks, David. Dylan is here. The storm is hitting me tomorrow all day. Oh dear. Robin says, the best start of my week off. Many thanks. You're very welcome. Adam Quinn says, what is your place of work? Are you a pilot? I'm not a pilot. I actually work for a transport company. I look after the operations of said transport company with trucks. And we are a busy little firm. So I drive a desk, or I fly a desk. That's about it. So we're going to jump outside and get some kind of scenery stuff going on here, because it is a nice part of the country. And to do this, I disappear. Hardly asks, do you have live weather on right now? We do. Now, how accurate live weather is, I'm not sure, but we'll give it a bash. Neil McAwain is here. Good evening to you, Neil. I hope you're keeping well, dude. He says, there's no cross on Carrantoul. Well, sure, we'll nearly have to go up there and put one on it. Skyfly Bryce says, I have successfully landed on the beach. Nice. David Shannon says, I'm in Millard. Mark says, 10:30 until 21:30. Ouch. Colonel Fork says, the logistics behind logistics. Desk pilot. Oh yeah. Aaron asks, how do I make the ground more detailed in the game? You could cache an area for the scenery. That might help. And you can also increase some of the sliders. So if you want to jump onto one of my tutorial videos, I think it's Microsoft Flight Sim initial setup, that'll certainly help you out. And if you want to check on some of the video tutorials from Squirrel, he's had a lot of good stuff there as well. Ethan Short says, have you ever tried Infinite Flight? I have. Bucket X is here. Good evening to you, sir. I hope you're keeping well. Darif Stapleton is here. Good evening, Darif. Would you fly over the cliffs of Moher? Possibly. We'll see how we go. I'm keeping very well today. Many thanks, Bucket X, for asking. I hope you're keeping good too. Fortunato Nardone says, hey, from Swords, loving the content. Was a good watch on the past stream flying over Swords. Keep it up, dude. Many thanks for the lovely words, my dude. And I hope you're having a nice evening in Swords. Now, flying here during the day in really nice weather is a very different experience to what we're seeing today. Because although it looks kind of alright, there's something kind of, well, I don't know, scary about the whole scene. But we shall continue on. Can I bring up a VFR map? I surely can. We'll leave that there so you guys can track us. Ian Fisher says, I've set up a number of presets for my Warthog joystick. No issues with that, but unlike FSUIPC, I'm having to manually select them every time I switch aircraft type. Do you know, is there a way that the appropriate preset can be set to a selection of particular aircraft? Once you save your aircraft profile, it should automatically load that profile. So there could be a permissions thing going on when it saves your controller profile. So if that's the case, just make sure that your antivirus or firewall isn't blocking any of the files. Daniel M says, a big glass of Pepsi and storm chasing. Great way to spend a stream. Oh yeah. Jake Body is here. He says, hey, how's it going? Very well, Jake. Many thanks for joining me here this evening. We're flying around Dingle at the moment. Well, we're not at Dingle yet. We're nearly there. So as we continue on, we're going to be heading over this direction. And there's a couple of islands over here, and they're called the Blasket Islands. Kean Leffert says, can you give a shout out to Patrick Duggan? Hello, Patrick Duggan. Nolene Holden is here. Hello and welcome to a new episode of Storm Chasers. Oh yeah. Time Lord Flight is here. Hello from Tip. Hello from Tip. Henry Gordon is here. Good evening to you, Henry. Hope you're keeping well. Bulkadex says, orange weather warning for Donegal. Skyfly Bright says, managed to take off on the beach, but I wouldn't run fast enough and I hit a house. Alan Mead is here. Good evening to you, Alan. Many thanks for joining us. So we'll worry about the weather here now in a bit, but it's more to see how our flight plan is going. So we're going to move this gadget down a bit as we keep an eye on what's happening. So these small little islands down over here, these are called the Blasket Islands. There's a bit of local knowledge if you ever need it. So we're kind of tracking down towards them, kind of ish. And as you can see, we can't see a whole lot. Epic. Christopher Ronan is here. Good evening to you. He says, hey from Dundalk. Love the content. Having serious problems trying to download the sim. Hit us up on Discord if you need any help. That's not the right button, Murph. Right now, if I copy... Yeah, no, that didn't work. Stand by. The last time I tried to look for this button, I hit the Netflix video. Welcome to Kerry. It's always scary. You planning on flying over the Blaskets, says Darren McCann. We surely are. Little Mac asks, are you playing multiplayer? Not at the moment. We'll see how we go now in a little while. So edit invite link. I don't know why I have to, like, I should just keep this link somewhere handy. You know. There. We shall see. So there's a link to the Discord. If you're having problems, jump onto Discord and I'll see if the guys can help you out. I can hear rain hitting us. Things are going to get interesting. Daza says, heading towards Galway Airport and the weather radar is full of red and pink. Wish me luck. Good luck, Daza. You're going to need it. King Gibbon says, just check the selfie I took earlier. I look insane with the beard pushed into a face mask. Going to have to give it a trim to match the mask. Nice. Ben McClure is here. Good evening to you. Many thanks for joining us. Mark and Tell is here. How are you, Murph? Just got here. Where are we off to today? We're flying around County Kerry. The airport for reference is Echo India Kilo Yankee. We're flying around the Dingle Peninsula, just about to fly over the Blasket Islands. And there's a storm brewing. Kalivos is here. I just got flashbacks when you mentioned the Blaskets. Matt Dempster is here. Hi, I was flying by there the other day in the sim. I'm from Glasgow, living in Cape Cod, USA. A storm is hitting here soon as well. Keep safe. Many thanks for the comments, Matt, and you do look after yourself. Sally Barron is here. She goes, hi guys, watching from Dubai. Hello Sally, and many thanks for tuning in this evening. Hope you're enjoying the content so far. Yeah, we need to turn left here now. As Owen O'Gara has just subscribed. Many thanks, Owen. So I can hear rain. I just can't see it yet. So if there's rain falling, let me see. Shouldn't we have like a de-icer? Anti-ice, weighing, yes, put that on. Stall heat, yes. Pitot heat switches, yes. And we'll turn the backups on, just in case. You wouldn't know where to look. So we have some of the Blaskets out here on the left hand side. I think you have the main Blasket Island. This neck of the woods, there's a, what's it called? Is it Port Quinn? Or Dunquin? Basically, a lot of the Spanish Armada kind of got caught up here back in the late Unpleasantness, and one of the Spanish ships actually sank here in the bay. Bonus points, who can name the Spanish ship? Daniel Lamb says, how many knots of wind are you flying in right now? We're getting about 20 knots blowing in from the east, which isn't too bad, although the clouds are getting, well, they're getting biblical. Tis getting serious now, lads. Tis getting serious now. Is that live weather tracking? It is. Tanya says, can I join? Yeah, we'll probably do some multiplayer action after a little while. Harry Hayton is here. He says, hello Murph, are you going to fly to Cork or the Aran Islands at some point? Yeah, if you want to check out some of the videos I have up on YouTube at the moment, Harry, we flew over the Aran Islands and also Cork. But by all means, we will be doing it again at some stage. As Dan Fitzgerald says, the weather makes it all very dramatic looking. Insert music here. Not to mention the shameless plug. Don't forget guys, if you like this content, you might consider hitting the subscribe or follow button. Kieran Niall is here. I'm flying a 787. When I do a flight plan, it only allows me to do a speed of 330 or go into overspeed. I believe that is a bug. Keane Gibbon says, the unpleasantness is now my go-to term for the period post-Norman invasion Ireland. Yes, it's gotten me out of many a bind. Well, I have to say the scenery is looking fantastic, as Will Bradley has just subscribed. Many thanks, Will. I hope you're having a pleasant evening. So we need to start doing things. Let me see. We're going to drop our altitude down to, let's call it 1800 feet. And we're going to vertical speed that sucker down a small smidgen. Let's go at 700 feet. We're going to turn our heading here. We want to go back over them Blaskets. Steady now.
Hey, good morning.
Harry Hayden has also subscribed. Many thanks, Harry. I do appreciate the support, guys. Okay, something like that looks just about nice. As we're about to approach 1,800 feet, and well, it's kind of IMC, really, isn't it? Now, if we look very, very closely, we can't see the outline of some of the islands, so that's going to be interesting. Dan Fitzgerald says, the Spanish Invisible Armada. Yes. Buddy says, would Flight Sim place the actual clouds the same from in real life? It'll kind of do it. As George Ensley plays, just subscribed. Many thanks, George. Good evening to you. I hope you're keeping well. So we can kind of see the ground. Not great now, but we can kind of see it. It's getting foggy. Ethan Short, coming in with the real humdinger, was the ship the Santa Maria de la Rosa. 10 points for Ethan Short. Ethan has nailed the historical question. Okay, this is getting interesting. 25 knots over the nose. I'm going to spin here to the right because we want to trace up over Dingle. We're still very much in the soup and we can't see much. Okay, let's start getting crazy, shall we? We're going to drop it down to 1,500 feet, which probably isn't much of a good idea. Vertical speed. Our airspeed is actually kind of okay, so we're going to hold that for a little while. Niall Breslin is here. Good evening to you, Niall. Hello, good evening, Murphy. Many thanks for stopping by, Niall. Aaron Bailey asks, is the weather really accurate? Well, I think one of the guys is actually in Kerry, which would be David Shanahan. So, David, mind the mountains here, Murph. This is going to get awful interesting. So, that's kind of dangerous. Kieran Niall says, I like the map you just had up. How do you get to it? If you press the V key, it's a default binding to your VFR map. If you just click on that, you can make this one take up the entire screen if you wish, which is really handy. So we're absolutely pumping it here now along. The altitude is good. We're kind of just lingering just beneath the cloud base. So yeah. Holy moly. Chill says Lavia maybe. Well, there wasn't just one ship that sank, so you could be in for the bonus points. Currently down to 100 feet, and I can see quite well. Skyfly Bry. Key Air is here, asking, do you find any bugs about the flight plan and autopilot? Yes, many bugs. Not necessarily kind of game breaking. Now, Murph, don't play chicken with that mountain, because I have a sneaking suspicion it'll win. And things will get very hard, very close, and very sore very quick. So we'll just kind of tiptoe around it, shall we? Alamede says, super stream this evening, Murph. Looking forward to what's ahead this stormy evening. Many thanks, Alan. Ethan Short says, Mr. Fitzpatrick was some history teacher, lads. Back to school next week, finally something normal. Nice one, Keane. I say we're demented with all the time off. As this weather is really close. Look at that bumpiness. It's getting crazy. Philip Breen says, I mean, come on, this is just a standard day for us here in Ireland. Agent Ice 007, how do you get the radar in the cockpit? So, if you jump down to one of your G1000s, you'll have it at this kind of a setup. You'll have map or declutter. If you click on map, you can select GPS or weather. There are options for your GPS or weather. You don't need to click them. However, if you click display, it'll jump between your weather or your GPS. I like the weather here because that represents the nose of the airplane, so I know kind of where and what I'm flying into. You can change it. If you go to map and click weather, you can go vertical. But this will give you an idea now of the nose and then show you the layers of where the madness is. But we're going to keep it on that for a moment. Now Murph, you're kind of flying off course here. And we're going to blame the wind and not my shoddy navigational skills. Aviate, navigate, aviate. Isn't that what they say? In my case, it's procrastinate, aviate, navigate, procrastinate. But sure, listen, that's why we love the streams. Paul Garrett is here. Good morning from Byron Bay, Australia. Love your channel. Many thanks, Paul. You're very welcome to the stream. I hope you're keeping well, dude. And let's hope you have better weather than we do. Beamy Noble Andrew is here. No, he's not. Beamy Noble Drew is here. Over on Twitch. Good evening to you, Noble Drew. Benny P is here. Good evening, Murph. Keep up the good work. Many thanks, dude. I hope you're having a nice evening. So we'll just here ever so slightly, because we kind of want to get in a little bit close to Dingle, so we can see Fungi. And if you want to know who Fungi is, well, Fungi is a national treasure. He's a dolphin. Ethan Short says, Inch Beach landing, let's go. Vincent Long is here. Kerry looking well. Rain starting here in Cork. Now let's hope, Vincent, that we can kind of still see what we're doing. Cockney John is here. Good evening, Murphy says. Hi, Murph, and good evening from South East London. Good evening, Cockney John. I hope you're keeping well. And many thanks for stopping by this evening. Even though I'll ask anyone go to Marion College. Dan Fitzgerald, the lad Julian as well. Dan is pulling out all the stops here this evening. The knowledge is booming. Chris Kerry is here. Arian Kerry, I just joined. Chris, great timing. We're just about to pass Dingle. Darren McCann says, Mount Eagle, straight ahead, 500 metres, I'd increase altitude. Fergus Riley is here. Good evening to you, Fergus. Hope you're keeping well, pal. Agent Ice says, thanks Murph, appreciate the advice on the weather. No problem, dude. Johnny Cottle's here. He says, pop over Kells, Rossbeck Beach, Glenbeigh. I dare you. Go on the kingdom. Funky the Dolphin, I seen him on the boat tours before. There we go. Vincent said, how about the Connor Pass? Well, yeah, I don't think it's going to be a good idea aiming for Connor Pass, and the only reason I'm saying that, as we flew around it, the clouds come in. So, yes, we could fly over Connor Pass, but you won't see it. So I reckon if we do this, we can kind of see roughly what we're doing. So far so good. Now, speaking of which, Inch Beach, lads. Is that Inch Beach right there? I think it is. Or is it here? Let's see what happens. Skyfly Bryce says, I'm going to restart the simulator with sunny weather because the cloud is too low. I approve. Fungi should be our patron saint instead of St. Paddy. Oh my god, you should have a look at Skellig Michael, says Chris. Yeah, prepare yourself to be let down. They're not terrible, but it is pretty much like a green blob of mesh. But it's fine, we'll get over it. Chris says, I live in Kerry and it's beautiful. Home of most of the wild Atlantic Way. Inch is the sandbar. So I'm right in saying this guy here. I need to verify this. Like I said, the research that goes into these streams, it's top notch. Hang on, map. Where are we going? Explore nearby, it says, and it brought me to Rome. Oh, that's because I was there the other day. In the sim, that is. Yes, that is indeed Inch Beach. The guys are mad for a landing on inch. Oh, you can see it, look. Oh, yes, 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 yes. We can see the beach. And a big mountain. And we don't want to hit the big mountain. So we'll kind of snake over to the right here a little bit. Just to make sure we don't do anything crazy. As we have 27 or 26 knots of wind bouncing off the nose. Kev Dev says, I live in Offaly. Ethan says, yeah, it's the peninsula sticking out. Skyfly Bryce says, I've just taken off from Kerry on 08 in lovely sunny weather. Yeah, I was thinking the same, but I want to see if we can find a storm. Daniel says, Squirrel is quaking in his boots with the research. It's pretty much, yeah, on the way home from work today, I was sitting in the car, I was like, right, what to do tonight? Because I'm trying to gauge the time in which the storm should be hitting. And as I was saying, this will be Murphy's Law, it won't hit like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I can't stream at that time tonight. And then I said, do you know, I might just fly over in the States and, like, I don't know, do the Grand Canyon. And then my wife said, why would you do that? Fly to Kerry. I was like, okay. And we're here. Keen Lafford, with absolutely fantastic navigational landmark coordination, says, I think the sticky outy bit is the beach. Many thanks, Keen. That's where we're going to head for it. Fergus Riley says, I live in Dublin, 3 miles out from Dublin Airport. Nice. So I say you get a lot of traffic flying overhead. Skyfly Bryce says, if you look at the world globe map with the weather turned on, you can position yourself right in the center of the storm. Anywhere in the world. That is very much correct. So we're going to fly over Inch Beach, and as we fly over it, we're going to have a look down to see, is it suitable to park our, you know, multi-million-dollar aircraft, a Cessna Grand Caravan. Maybe they're not that expensive. If someone in chat can find out how expensive they are. So we've all kind of mad weather coming in. So we can see the beach. Solex City is here. Hello. Good evening. You're very welcome to the stream. Phil asks, hi, is stormfrancis the new storm coming in? It surely is. Stuart Payne is here. Good evening to you, Stuart. He says, good evening, Murph and the two-tone crew. I like that. Kenan Naughton says, it's insured. It's no problem. It's totally fine. Sparker in VR is here. Good evening, Sparker. Hi, is this real weather? Yes, it is. Okay, so looking down at the old beach here, it doesn't look as kind of, you know, flat and nice as I would hoped. Now, there is a bit of a beach along here and up here. So yeah. Because Kenneth reckons it's insured, we're going to try and land. This could be disastrous. Ethan Scott says the Grand Caravan price is $2.685 million. Dazza says, currently got 30 knot wind hitting me from the left as I fly towards Kerry. Yeah, boy. Chris says, have you ever been in Listowel, home of the world's first monorail built for the desert? A race course and the Shanachie, or Shanachie. Ah, the Shanachie, yes. Okay, autopilot coming off. Face cam for dramatic effect. And let's see what we can do here, as we have a 31 knot wind. That's totally fine. We can fly in 31 knots, lads. Yep. I don't know what this aircraft is actually rated for, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. Now, how are we going to slow this machine down here? Things are going to get awful interesting, awful quick. Keen Lafford says, the water touching the sand is too blue for Ireland. I don't know. It's just kind of reflecting the old sun there, or the lack of. So 128 knots. Right, Murph, you need to do something kind of dramatic. Pitch up and get yourself into the safety area for deploying some flaps. And there's a whole load of flaps, and now we're at 90 knots. And now we need to be really careful here. A full stop landing I don't think is going to be possible, because we'll never get back into the air again. I'd love to see the Caravan in the weather right now. Oh yeah. Well, it's looking kind of alright. And it is windy. So let's see what happens here, shall we? Good luck landing, says Vincent. Oh yeah. Autopilot coming off. Brace, brace, brace. Heads down, stay down. Thanks, Stuart. That vote of confidence just makes it feel alright. Oh, it's starting to rain, look. There are droplets on the window.
500.
Oh, we're at 500 feet. I don't kind of trust the beach, so we're going to go for the kind of weird looking stuff in front of us. What do you guys think? Doable or not doable? We have a 20 knot crosswind coming in from the right. Sauce Boss is here. Are you buttering that landing? Well, that's the plan and the hope. One step at a time. The old terrain doesn't look terribly kind of soft and flat there, does it? Okay, there's like crosswinds here that you only read about in a book. This ground doesn't look terribly safe. Touchdown-ish. No reverse thrust. Oh god, it's getting kind of weird. Mind a bit of a hill up. The engines don't know what to be doing. Okay, well we kind of made it. But I'm just like... Ooh, don't, and lean this way. Everyone lean this way. Turn it around. Nothing to see here. Don't mind us. We're happy to report that there's no one on the beach. They've listened to the crazy weather girl. Don't make unnecessary journeys. Okay, steady now. I meant if you put the weather live at 9 PM as it is now. Yes, so the weather is live. Don't go in the water. The weather is live. I just changed the time of day. So it should be good. So, we made it. We're parked here on the ground. Piper1 says, if you want a bargain, Murph, the 2006 amphibian Caravan, it's only $1.75 million. Well, yeah. You can't say no to a bargain. Absolutely not. Do you mean to say that you have not practiced this, says Ian Hanlon? No, I haven't. And now that I've done it this one time, I'll probably do it again. And then I'll say I've done it once before. Keen Lafford says, congrats. Whoop whoop for Murphy, says Chris. Good landing. NCB intact. Okay, we're going to bring up one notch of flaps. And we're going to try and get off the ground here again. Because it's nice and it's kind of calm and palatial as it looks down here on the ground. Well, it's going to get crazy again once we get up there. So, advance our throttle. Keep an eye on this torque that it doesn't, go into the red line. On you, Dibble. Stay going. Stay going. Okay, that's about the limit. Right, brakes off. And we're rolling. And we've only 7 knots beside us because you have a big kind of a sand dune. But as soon as that goes, it's going to get crazy. There's 20 knots. Phil says, can I put a weather link? Corsican Phil, beltway. Oh, there's a big bump coming. Oh, we're only doing 50 knots. Oh dear. We're at 60 knots. Oh. We'll take that. Oh, the wind. We'll take that. Don't sink. We won't sink. Oh god, we're sinking. Power. There's 90 knots. Mind the torque. Don't set the old engines on fire, Murph. We only get one of them. Andrew Noble is here. He says, hello, Mr. Murphy. Hello, Mr. Noble. Good evening to you. Many thanks for joining. And we're okay. Successful landing on Inch Beach outside of Dingle. Chris says, the weather is lovely in North Kerry too. Interesting. Alan says, I was convinced you were going in the water. Stuart Payne says, have you tried VATSIM on Microsoft Flight Sim yet? I haven't. I went about using, I think it's vPilot, and I had all sorts of crazy problems. Now, I am aware they've released a patch since I was installing it, so we could be okay maybe in a couple of days. As we turn on our little VFR map here. So we're going to make a U-ey and come down by kind of Glen Bay, down by Caravan. And these are the Skelligs down here. So we're going to make a complete 180. So to do a 180, we're going to head for, let's say, 240 degrees. And then we're going to go autopilot on. We're going to go to vertical speed mode. Because we need to kind of down arrow. Because we want 1500 feet to stay under the clouds. So we make sure our flaps are well in. As Charlie Moran has just subscribed. Many thanks, Charlie. I hope we're having a pleasant evening, and many thanks for joining us. We're here kind of messing around the Dingle Peninsula, and we're going to head down now towards Glen Bay and Caravan, down towards Valencia, and then after Valencia we're going to tip down here to the Skelligs to see what we can see. Why are we climbing at a rate of knots when we turn? That's interesting. V speed, down arrow. Oh, that's too much. So we're in this soup here for a minute. Why are we still climbing? Man, Murph, that's how you break it. Okay, so we go for a 1200 descent. We're kind of faced the right direction now. Okay, so I've set for 1200, yet the plane doesn't want to do it. Come on, plane. Okay, so V speed, we've set 1500 in the box. V speed, 1200 down. There's something terribly wrong. Autopilot off. Heading, autopilot and V speed. Autopilot on, 3200. We'll reset our altitude and we want to go down to 1500. V speed turned on and down arrow about 1000. I think we broke our airplane. Interesting. We shall ponder. So we have 2954 as our barometric pressure. We're following our heading, but for some reason it doesn't want to follow our vertical speed. How about we do a flight level change and hold it at 131 knots? So if I bring back the throttle, we should pitch down to maintain 131 knots. And that appears to be working. We fixed it with science. Look at that cell. Things is going to get awful interesting. But let's jump outside again, hide my mush, and just look at the craziness. So we'll keep it in this view, and we should start getting some sort of views coming in shortly. Jubair Ahmed is here. Good evening to you. I hope you're keeping well. Keen Leffer says, do you have to pay for the Ryanair livery? What Ryanair livery is that? Stuart Payne says, I tried it today. That is VATSIM. And very, very stutters, but it was nice flying patterns in Jersey. Nice. Bushido Karate Club is here. Only just logged on. Is Dunquin Sheep's Highway there. Dunquin is there, and the little island's just kind of north of it, but I didn't see the Sheep's Highway modelled, as in that's kind of like the concrete stairs, if you like, leading in there. Bill says, see another stream, big update coming out on the 27th of this week apparently. Correct and right. Have we been to Skellig? Asks Chris. No, we're going to head out that way now. Ben McClure says, vroom vroom. The Buzz says, it's getting wild, wet and windy out there, Murphy. Oh yeah. Henry Gordon here. Good evening to you, Henry. Chris says, that is your pilot seeking. We are in deep. Shh. Seems your flight director is unhappy. Says, Harry Potter shiz. Harry Potter shiz, indeed it is. It seems very unhappy with things. But we're kind of behaving ourselves. We're holding 135-ish. We have a decent descent rate of 550-ish feet. And we're going to keep this mountain on our left-hand side. Yeah, now we're getting scenery. Hidden away the crazy Irish weather. Everyone says, caught in an updraft, question mark. Don't think so. Boba Fett is here. He said, it doesn't work on the Caravan for me either. It was working earlier on. The Buzz says, gremlins in the works, Murphy. Probably. Sparking VR says, outside air temperature above freezing. Yeah, 10 degrees. There is rain. We can hear it, but we can't see it. Oh, we can kind of see it. It's very light at the moment, and that doesn't seem right, because it should be pelting rain here very shortly. But as we continue south, I'm sure we're going to get a bit more of the wet stuff. Hopefully. Keen says, sorry, I meant liveries in general. No, they're all free. Mark Dixon says, gotta go, great stream as usual. Many thanks, Mark. You have a pleasant evening. Bill says, flip. I can't believe how Flight Sim came after FSX. Do the real planes avoid storms? Most of the time, yes. They'll bob and weave throughout. Skyfly Bryce says, anyway, I'm off down to the French Alps and want to land on the top of Mont Blanc. You enjoy it, dude. We'll go back to the map here. We're kind of passing Carsavine here, over on the right hand side, out the window, somewhere over the yonder hill. Maybe it's over there. This is great for sightseeing, isn't it? And over here, you can see a cloud. And over here, beside that cloud, it's a bigger cloud. And then, if you look down here in the water, you can see a reflection of a cloud. This tour is awesome. So as we continue on around the, I suppose, the head here, you'll see Valencia Island. Wojciech Klusa is here. He says, there is a free DHL livery for this airplane. Yes, there is. Dave Styles is here. He says, is the weather random? No, this is reading the real world data for this neck of the woods here in Ireland, as Storm Francis is on the approach. What are we trying to do here, airplane? You reckon me, Buzz? Climb to 1500, please. Flight level change. Add some oomph. Yeah, I think we went and kind of broke our autopilot, but it's fine. Like we'll get over it. We'll manage some way without it. The Cliffs of Dover don't look very healthy yet, says Chris. No, like they're better than any other sim. But they still kind of have a lot of work to do. You reckon me, Buzz? Climb to 1500, please. You reckon me, Buzz? Climb to 1500, please. Flight level change. Add some oomph. Yeah, I think we went and kind of broke our autopilot, but it's fine. Like we'll get over it. We'll manage some way without it. The Cliffs of Dover don't look very healthy yet, says Chris. No, like they're better than any other sim. But they still kind of have a lot of work to do. Sparker and VR says the freezing effects look quite menacing. They really do. Phil says, thought it'd be darker going into a storm. Well, we're kind of very far away from the storm. The actual storm is still tracking some 40 or 50 miles south of Ireland at the moment. It's not really due to hit till about kind of 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Right, can we go altitude select mode, please? Okay, plane. Why aren't you behaving yourself? Very strange. Kane says, does Australia exist in flight sim since it isn't real in the real world? Okay, Kane. Yes, Australia is fully modelled and they've done exceptional work in the Sydney Opera House. It looks absolutely fantastic. What's going on here, airplane? You're just really wrecking the buzz. Altitude select. We're going to go down to 1600 feet. We want to go into V speed and we want to go down. Turn off the autopilot and see if that helps. Ian says you had an incredible view at 900 feet. I think we're going to head back down towards 900 feet as we watch our speed. So we'll do a sharp left turn here. Don't put it in the wet. Okay, we can see the ground. And by ground I mean the sea. msfsweather here. Well, Francis is already here in y'all, and it's absolutely lashing, lol. Did you see what I did there? Okay. So this little island I'm trying to navigate us toward is called Puffin Island. And it's named after the birds. There's a puffin bird. And they have a mad looking beak. As you can kind of see, it's slowly approaching through the misty murkiness. Sparkman VR says, when you would really want an autopilot to work, this would be a good time. Oh yeah. And there's no way to virtually like dash the dashboard or bang the dashboard and shout obscenities at it.
500.
Oh, there's 500 feet. Go handy here, Murph, will you? Okay, well, we'll just hand fly it. So we're going to scare the absolute hippity-jeebus out of the birds on Puffin Island. Chris says, can you get fatal malfunctions in the game? Yes, you can set any sort of failure or disaster to happen to the aircraft. Engine loss, fires, hydraulics failures, all that kind of good stuff.
Hey, good morning.
500.
Odd Soft Hat is now following over on Twitch. Many thanks, my dude. Many thanks for the follow. I really appreciate it. Okay, mind the sea here, Murph. It's very unforgiving. So this be Puffin Island. David Williams says, I've been to Puffin Island. I can't confirm there are puffins there. Nice. Radio HF and SW with a huff and a puff. Craig says it's raining here in West Cork. Jim Oates is here. G'day, mate. I hope Monday is treating you well. Super duper, Jim. We're trying to track a storm, another storm, slowly but surely on its way to Ireland. So I'm going to try and manually track the Skelligs here. Use the force. Do you see what it? Do you see what it? You saw what I did. The force is strong on that one. Okay, so that's roughly where we're headed. to these little fellers. And we can't go terribly high here, otherwise we won't see a thing. And we're going to stay in our cockpit view mode. For obvious reasons, I need to see my instruments. Echo India's here. Hello, hello, hello. Chris says it's raining everywhere. When isn't it? SK Sun says, isn't there some fix all failures option in this thing? That's if the AP is broken. I think it's just bugged. I don't think it's broken. James Stark is here. Hello, are you live on multiplayer? Not just yet. I'll have a look in a while. Dara Riley says, yeehaw. Okay, watch your speed. As we have one of the Skelligs just ahead. There's a drenched and waterlogged Mark Hamill over on that island. Stuart says Bill Paxton will beat you to it. Skyfly Bryce says you can have the instruments outside. Ah yeah, but we don't want to do that. That'll break the immersion, you see. For this is as real as it gets. Says your man with the on-screen map and the broken autopilot and the exterior view. Spark and VR says, I'm hoping for multiplayer, but when I saw the weather, thought better of that. So this is Skellig Michael. It is pretty much just a green lump of mesh. I really hope that gets a lot of love and attention because the rock face itself is something most definitely a sight to behold. And there is a lighthouse there, but it's only kind of basically modelled. Dazza says, managed to land my TBM at Cork. No passengers were harmed in the flying of this plane. Nice. So yeah, it doesn't look too bad. And like, at least it's there. Now I think what we have to do, because we're kind of half mad on this here channel, I think we're going to try and get above the clouds. What do you reckon? Let's go for it and see what happens. So we'll bank left again, because my plan is to appear somewhere over Caravan, and depending on the weather that we have, wouldn't it be interesting if Caravan actually comes up through the clouds? That would be epic. So we'll fly kind of this-ish kind of a heading. We're passing 1200 feet. We got plenty of power. And let's try and hold this heading. The wind has calmed significantly at this height, but obviously the higher we go, well, they're going to pick up. Brian says, tonight on Storm Chasers. Super C Davis, fly Amelia Earhart route. Maybe we already have, and that's why we are hopelessly lost. As we're coming up on 2,000 feet. Not even a hint of a breakthrough of these clouds yet. Skyfly says 15,000 feet to the top of the clouds. 15,000, really? David Shanahan is back. Keane says, sadly, you can't see Luke or Porgs or Skellig Moore. That's okay. We know they're there. We don't need some sort of photogrammetry or 3D rendering engine to tell us what's there. It's like the Guinness factory all over again. We know it's there, and we take comfort knowing that it's there. Christiane is here. Greetings from Barcelona. Haven't seen weather like this in years. Yeah, don't rub it in, man. Geek Bernice says, live weather broken for me again. It has that issue. It really does. Stuart Payne says, Chris, you should come back to the Black Mountains in Wales. You see 4 seasons in one day. Echo India says, how does Newcastle look in the new flight sim? Echo India November Charlie. Yeah, it looks quite good. It looks decent. It has the beach there, it has the railway. I was bound to Heathrow Airport earlier and called them up on the radio and told them that I was unfamiliar with the area and wanted directions when I was overhead. Brian says, it's a grand day for the ducks. Yes, it is. As we're now passing 4,000 feet, no sign of any sort of a break in these clouds yet. But I'm still confident and hopeful and wishful and cautious and optimistic. All those things rolled into one. I reckon we'll break out of the clouds at some stage. But we continue our climb as we're heading back towards Killarney Way. Chris says, you can usually see snow on top of Carrantoul on a cold day. Nice. Skyfly Bright says, brings back memories flying over Mont Blanc, because I've actually have flown over it in my own aircraft, but I didn't go right to the top because I didn't have oxygen. Nice. What plane do you fly, dude? Andrew Noble says, a bit of a pea super. Yep. We're getting through it though. We're coming up on 6,000 feet. Calmly. And the guys, they do complain about autocorrect. You are preaching to the absolute choir. Many a text or message has been sent by Misha to people trying to say certain words. And autocorrect does a terrible job of it. I don't want to go into it. Let's just say it was bad. Echo India says, I heard in your stream that you've got a couple of hours yourself. Where'd you fly out of? Done a little bit out of the Burr airfield and a little bit out of Weston a long time ago. Keane says, Murph, you're one of the only streamers that actually interacts with their audience. Well, I reckon that's because I have a very unique audience. See what I did there? See what I did? That's bonus points for me. You guys got it with your history, I got it with my charm, and another word for charm. Stuart says, trying to message on that is like trying to get an Irish drunk to understand a Scottish drunk when the interpreter for both is an English drunk. Yep. That makes total sense because the three of them all sound the same. Or words to that effect. Chris asks, what airport did you start to stream? We took off out of Kerry Airport. Echo India Kilo Yankee. I hope you guys checked out the X-Plane 11 video I did for the new Boundless and Keynote 35, their rendition of Kerry Airport. It's actually very good. And hopefully we won't have to wait terribly long to see some decent Irish scenery arriving into the world of Microsoft Flight Sim. We live in hope. Equidia says, Burr, my qualifying cross-country brought me there. I have a funny story about that. Philip Breen says, well played, sir. Oh yeah, oh yeah. As we're approaching 9,000 feet and still we're in the soup. Yato Akito says, I don't think I need to hear more than one sentence to know that he's Irish. That's a good thing. So the auto weather doesn't seem to... auto weather? The real world weather doesn't seem to be kind of behaving itself. We've only kind of a 15 knot tailwind here. This looks like normal Ireland weather, to be honest. It kind of does. Penchley says, anyone else in the joyless joysticks camp of keyboard flying? Yeah. Skyfly says, I couldn't believe it. I flew over Stonehenge and it's not 3D. Give it time. Just Random Games is here. Hope you're keeping well, dude. You're very welcome to tonight's stream. He says, this game is so overrated, don't you think? No, it's not. It's oversaturated at the moment because there's a whole load of new people using it or playing with it, which is a good thing. But I don't think it's overrated. Like, I think for initial release, as you know, a day one release, they haven't done anything since they've just released it. It's pretty good. Like the autopilot, avionics, they need serious work and attention. Some of the networking issues, be it with the real world weather and some of the traffic options, and they need a lot of work. The graphics are starting to hit the nail on the head. There's very few graphical problems that I can see. The install for a lot of people was a complete disaster. But again, not like, you know, it takes a lot of time, but once you get it done, it's done. The type of aircraft available, I think they're all visually stunning. They sound great. A little bit light on the avionics side, but they're still flyable. So we live in hope. Stuart, I actually looked right. Stuart says, ladies and gentlemen, on your right we have the legendary castle that withstood the Roman invasion. Passengers look right. I actually looked right. I was like, what's he talking about? Is there? What, really? Yeah. And on our left there's flying dragons. 3 of them. Okay, the wind is starting to hit us again. So we're now at 11,000 and no sign of anything yet. Joachim says there is a mod for Stonehenge already. Nice. Rory Reeland is here. Where are you flying to, yes? We're just kind of hanging around Kerry at the minute. We're waiting for the arrival of stormfrancis, and we're starting to pick up a couple of bumps and high winds. We took off from Kerry Airport, we flew around Dingle, we headed down to the Skelligs, and we're just kind of rambling back now, approaching Carron Tool, and we're going to be hitting Killarney very shortly. But my plan is to climb upwards and onwards to see can we break the clouds. Stuart Payne says, Murph, do you have any start issues with the 182? All the time. And I thought it was only me, because any other streamer I watched, it was fine. Oh dear, we have icing. Okay, anti-ice. Yeah. Let's see what happens here. We have icing, and now the icing is gone. But is it on our wings? We're kind of good. That's moisture in the air, and the altitude in which we're at -3 for our outside air temperature, as we're passing 12,000 with a 23 knot tailwind. Go Dragon is here. Good evening to you, pal. Hope you're keeping well. Skyfly says, I like X-Plane 11 because it has trees in the road. Oh yeah. Does the O2 Arena in London have a model? If so, that would look cool. The O2 Arena. Is that like the Millennium Stadium? If it does, I think it does. Agent Ice 007 says, drink more whiskey and Stonehenge will be in 3D. Yes, yes it will. Philip Breen says, I used a controller before but bought a HOTAS 4 joystick for this game, and guys, trust me, get a yoke or a joystick. It makes it 1,000 times better and much more immersive. I agree, 100%. And it doesn't even have to be something fancy, just get a something. Skyfly Bry says, by the way, I did subscribe to your channel. Many thanks, my dude. If I didn't shout it out, you're very welcome, and I hope you're enjoying the content. Did a full IF4 approach of the TBM a couple of days ago. Worked like a charm. Only thing that wasn't working was the VNAV. But easy to work around. ILS worked great. We can see that some clouds here. This is looking nice. Can we get a bit of a diddly idle? I'm getting all excited now. We might be breaking through the clouds in our ice cover airplane. Come on, Betsy, you can do it. Keep pushing. Don Lynn says, hey Murph, why are you wearing orange glasses? But they're not really orange, but they're these anti-glare glasses thingies. Like, I can watch the screen without glasses, and it's grand. But then the next day in work, they're like saying, why are your eyes all red? And I'd be like, no reason, I read a book last night. So I wear these. And I never, like, you know, I didn't knowingly pay for them. They came free with my chair. I bought the chair and then they gave me these glasses. And ever since then, I kind of swear by them. Because I can see, and like my eyes aren't half as strained. But I have researched into getting more of these, and maybe a blue tint or a clear tint. And the frames are kind of, you know, really? That's what you're going to wear kind of thing? My wife absolutely loves them. No, she hates them. But I kind of need them. Well, I don't need them, but I like wearing them. 14,000 feet. Come on, I thought we were getting there. Oh dear, we have icing. Quotes from the official IAA report.
Hey, good morning.
As Jackson Fan has just subscribed. Many thanks, my dude. I hope you're keeping well. I think there's more ice buttons on your bottom left. Well, we don't need oxygen, we're not up high enough. Bottom left. Static port, no. Fire detection, no. Standby power, generator, fuel post. ABS bump, vent, and up. So as far as I know, all my ice are turned on. Air conditioning, hot air, bleed, that's all okay. No, I think we're good. We're kind of heading back up towards Kerry, then we'll go back down to Carntill because we're still trying to climb through this mad stuff here. So let's see if we can do it. Some music, I think. When will we get this for Xbox? Says Nest. Hang on. That's Nestons? Think so, Kira. Let's just go with Kira. Xbox, I believe, will be released before the year is out. They're probably looking at a Christmas release. Go Dragon says, why did you choose the Grand Caravan for today's flight? No. I just thought it looked a little bit more rough and ready than the Diamond DA. And like, these things are usually bulletproof. Usually. That does look kind of class though. Hang on behind me. The last question, got this on Steam, got deluxe, is it worth going to premium? If you like, if you want to have 5 additional aircraft and 5 additional sceneries, yes. But only if you really want them, you know? Rory says, will you be going over Tralee? We'll see how we go. Goat Dragon says, how do you know the outside air temperature? Okay, so on our G1000 display here, if we scroll down to the bottom, it'll say OAT -7. That indicates our outside air temperature. Holy moly, we're at 15,500 feet and there's no sign of these clouds. So we're kind of looping north of Kerry Airport. Stuart says his pink ones are for X-Plane, Don. Okay, mind your speed here, genius. We were doing so well. .30 knot wind. 15,000. Just as well, the oxygen is inoperable. I'm starting to get lightheaded. Like, is it even getting brighter up there? It kind of is. We're doing our best. Slowly but surely. David Shanahan says, take off power and you'll be out of the clouds. Yeah, but we'll probably end up redlining this relatively soon. Yeah, like ITT is just, we're bound by ITT, which isn't ideal. Jackson Fan says, is this the real in-game, is the weather real in-game, in real life? Should be. Skyfly Bray says, if you want to go that high, just press the Y key, then hold F4 to take as high as you want. That's cheating, man. We have to have the sense of struggle, and everyone has to lean forward and stuff. Comer Hughes is here. He says, Two-Tone, does the game follow live weather forecast? It's supposed to. Sometimes it fails miserably. There are a couple of niggly little bugs there that they got to fix, but sometimes it works perfect. Hardy says the rain in Cork is unreal. Philip Reed says far bottom left on the side. Dr. Rock, good evening, and you're very welcome to the stream. He says, how do pirates sail in thick fog? They file IFR. Gar. Oh, that's brilliant. There's a break in the clouds. About time, says you. Just keep the faith. We're getting through it. So that's where we're flying right now. We're flying just south of Kerry Airport towards Killarney, as we're trying to do our best to break through the clouds here. We're doing a bit of a job. We'll jump outside here now in a sec, once we can kind of, well, I don't know. We've kind of maxed our speed here. Altitude is Yeah, we're gonna stall this. Now if we turn left and keep the wind behind us, this should help. Because we'll use the sim to push us along in the wind. Yes, this is helping. 4X Irish is here. What is a storm and how bad is it? Storm is nearly here and it's pretty bad. David Shannon says, why do we have the wheels down? Well, we can try and remove them, but I'll leave that up to some of my great landings. John J. Rambo's here. I'm still flying Flight Sim 2004 with all the eye candy added. Gotta get a new PC before I can get FS 2020. Nice. Trinity JF is here. Hi, Francis. Blue, I see blue. Chris says, I can confirm the weather is pretty accurate. That's good to know. So we want to try and keep this tail wind on our tail. You want to be into the wind to get the extra airspeed. You must be carrying a nun, a pastor, a monk to keep the fate flying in that pal. Okay. Let's see, can we kind of just level off? Because I don't think we can get much higher than this. But look at the view. Like, it was kind of worth it just to get up here, wasn't it? Odd Krutsky says, this looks insanely good in your PC. What sort of frames are we getting? At the minute we're 55, which is kind of cool. Go away, clouds. We were doing so well. Oh yeah, the wind has gone behind us. Okay, right turn. A 38 knot wind right on the back of us. Winter's back. Can we dump some fuel? I wish we could. The weight is just like nuts. But we're okay. Kinda. Chris says, I'm going to have to watch a film now. See you on the next stream. No worries, Chris. Enjoy the movie, man. Better be something like Hot Shots or, you know, The Airplane. Or The Perfect Storm. Maybe not The Perfect Storm, but you get the... yeah. Oh, holy moly, we're stalling. So we're pretty much just letting the wind kind of... blows around here. It does look insanely pretty though. Looking at the window at this would be playing Highway to Hell with scared passengers. Oh yeah. Holy moly, mind the big cloud, Murph. Colin Smith says, this brings a whole new level to storm chasing. Awesome streaming idea. Many thanks, dude. Okay, yeah, it's just not liking this at all. Okay, we're gonna nose down. Pick up some speed. Holy moly. Irish 25 is now following. Many thanks, my dude. And we just kind of got whacked out of it with a big massive gust of wind. If anyone else kind of saw that. I left in my chair just now. Have you leaned the mixture for high altitude? Yes. We're down at kind of here. We can lower the prop, but we're going to be ITT bound, which doesn't really seem to help.
Hey, good morning.
Raz Singh has just subscribed. Many thanks, dude. So if we can kind of... Hang on now. It was really hard to control, but it's okay. Nice. Irish25 4X has arrived on Twitch. Nice. Really appreciate it, dude. Many thanks.
Hey, good morning.
So the clouds are getting a lot darker now, as Mike Kitson has just subscribed. Many thanks, Mike. I hope you're having a pleasant evening. Look at that.
Hey, good morning.
That just looks pretty. As Mike C has just subscribed. Many thanks, dude. Stuart says no, you don't add mixture to a turboprop. Stuart, I was just testing you. And I have most definitely put it back to where it belongs. That's awesome looking. Loving the stream, man. So relaxing watching other people play this game because I've been playing so much myself. Many thanks, Russell. Aaron says the clouds look naughty. Yes, they do. They look friggin' ferocious, man.
That's a big 10-4, good morning.
Sparker and VR just subscribed. Many thanks, my dude. Really appreciate your support. And I hope you're enjoying the stream as we can see all sorts of ice on the airplane.
That's a big 10-4.
Ian has just subscribed. And Flint5 has now subscribed as well. Many thanks, guys. I hope you're having a wonderful Monday evening, the start of a week. We're flying through a storm. A sign of things to come, perhaps.
Big 10-4, good morning.
As the Badget Gamer has just subscribed as well. Many thanks, my dude. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. DJ Earth is saying, how come it's daytime? Well, I put it to daytime
Good morning.
as Wade Reed just subscribed. Many thanks, dude. I put it to daytime only to kind of, well, see how things look. And I believe it was a good call.
Big 10-4, good morning.
As Andy Beeston UK just subscribed. Many thanks, Andy. Hope you guys are all enjoying the stream. We're attempting to fly here in stormfrancis. And she looking mean and angry. And let's go this way because it looks interesting. What is the fuel situation? We're good. Yes. Let us go this way. We see a little pocket through the clouds. And we can actually drop a bit of altitude and that'll help with our speed. Rav Gullis here. Hello Murphy, can you tell me your CPU, GPU and RAM? So the CPU is an i9 9900K running at 5 GHz. The GPU is the NVIDIA RTX 2080 Ti. And the RAM is Corsair LPX 64 gig running at 3000 megahertz? I think it's megahertz. Aaron says, daytime showcases the storm better. I agree. Echo India, many thanks for the gifted sub, dude. I just see the notification now. I'm smart. I can read like the information. I'm just very, very, very slow to jump at it. But Echo India, I really appreciate that, dude. Many thanks. And to all the new subscribers to the channel, you're all very welcome. As we'll go for something like this. John says, thanks for streaming for us, sir. John, no problem at all. I really hope you guys are enjoying it. Viper78 is here. Good evening to you. Hi, looks good, bud. Thank you very much, my dude. Echo India says, Echo India, Juliet Oscar Romeo on the tail, and we're even. That, my friend, is a deal. Have you seen the drop in price of the i9 9900K, says Stuart? I have. Gamer HD says, hello, I'm new. Hello, Gamer HD. You're very welcome to the channel. I hope you're enjoying it. We're doing our best to fly in and around Storm Francis here, over the south coast of Ireland, and we're up against it. Ian asks, whereabouts are we flying? Over the Kerry neck of the woods in Ireland. And I have to say, that looks insanely good. Keen Leopard says, what edition of Flight Sim do you own? This is the Premium Deluxe. Matt Steve is here. He said, looks like typical Irish weather. Yes, yes it does. Skyfly says, I might start doing live streams because I have 2 computers and 2 screens. Nice, dude. Brad Barney says, hey mate, loving the stream. When do you think the in-game marketplace will be more active? I thought it would be flying with new content. Slowly but surely. There's been a couple of issues with the SDK and it's holding a lot of developers back. So Orbex and Caranado and was it Vertical something or Flightbeam, they were really quick off the mark, and you know, in fairness, the even Orbex kind of had a couple of issues. So I think they're going to wait for the first official patch on the 27th, and once that patch comes out, we're going to see a lot of more content real fast. Dagrin Gaming is here. He says, hi Murphy, how are you today? Very well, Dagrin. I hope you're keeping well, dude, and you're very welcome to tonight's stream. Echoidia says, TCB, towering cumulus nimbus are not your friend, even if they look interesting. I agree. They look so fluffy, but you dip your wing into that, it's like hitting a rumble strip. DJ Earth says, I have a 1060 Nvidia card with 8 gigs of RAM. My frame rate is shocking. Yeah, you gotta turn down your specs, dude. ADO 891 is here. How about flying out to meet the storm, bud? Check out the sea as well. Sure. Well, we're kind of near enough in the storm. Man, that looks good. The plane looks like it's about to stall. It kind of is. But we won't worry about that just yet. The angle of attack here is unreal because we have a tailwind and I'm able to keep the nose up. Vertical saves. Thanks, Stuart. That's the one. DGR says, thank you very much for your streaming. No problem at all, dude. Killian Cosgrin is here. Hello from Limerick, he says. Hello from Tipperary. And presently, hello from... good question. Somewhere between Cork and Kerry. Captain Frank is here. Hi Captain, how are things? Very well, Captain Frank. I hope you're having a pleasant evening. Many thanks for joining us. Zico is here as well. Hello, Zico. The Z3 is here. Hey, hey, Murph. How are you keeping, pal? I hope you're keeping well. Zico says, are you playing with all players on again? Not this evening, my friend. Only because my frames are taking a bit of a hammering with this storm here. But I'll probably catch up with you guys on Wednesday night's stream. I'm thinking the Grand Canyon. Balzair is here. Hi, I love Ireland. Nice. Sparker and Vior says, I just heard that the Plane Command developer for X-Plane that he'll be bringing it to Microsoft Flight Sim. Nice. Sean Dunn is here. He says hello from the capital. Hello, Sean Dunn. I hope you're keeping well, dude. Many thanks for stopping by tonight. Is it time to dive down? I want to see the lovely Irish pastures. I have never been there. Christian, soon. Very soon. Okay, let's see, can we fix the angle of attack here and get a somewhat level. That'll probably kind of do. Look at the state of that weather. Mike C says, streaming on OBS? Yes, I am. Irish Sloppy Dad is here. Good evening to you, sir. He says, be Jesus. This looks awesome. I can't wait to start exploring. Fantastic stream. Many thanks, my dude. Glad you're enjoying it. There is a small bit of pixelation on the clouds. I have noticed that, and it's probably to do with me settings. I've turned down one or two sliders a little bit. Echo India says, a little disappointed there's no helis at the moment, but I understand it. The flight dynamics are way more complicated. I'd rather they take the time with it rather than get them wrong. Almost need all that fancy plane stuff to get the feel right. 100%. Did you bring your grog along? Sticky rice, top of the morning. I hope you're having a fantastic and pleasant flight. Many thanks, my dude. Delighted that you're here joining us tonight. Now we're overspeed. Nice. Okay, we're going to make our way back to Kerry Airport. Can a lightning strike hit a plane? Yes. Can it do it in the sim? I haven't seen it yet. Okay, so we've kind of 30 to 40 knots, gusting to about 70 here, so we're in the thick of it. But it's kind of cool at 22,000 feet. Sam says, ever think of looking at the fires in California with this? I don't think they have that modelled, but yeah. Skyflyer says, did the wheels not retract on the Caravan? No, they're fixed. Want to get the game but no idea what PC specs I should go for. Wondering if it's a topic you could discuss in your videos for fellow newbies, says Raj. 100% Raj. Also Raj, if you want to take the discussions outside of the stream, I've just put in a Discord link. And we talk about kind of hardware setups, and we put up our own media and screenshots and videos, and we talk about our group flying and stuff. Echo India says, what's your ground speed compared to your airspeed? So airspeed is looking at 122 knots, ground speed is reading 144 knots. So about 20 knots in the difference. Which is okay, I suppose. Kramer says it looks way too smooth for 70-mile-per-hour gusts. I don't think so, dude. You'd want to see the jumping we were doing earlier. Can you jump out and use a parachute? I wish, man. It'd be absolutely fantastic. Oh, there's some wind. Speak of the devil. Holy moly. Slow this right down. Matthew Heeds is here. He says, another storm. Storm chasers. Or the storm. No, hang on. There's got to be something to do with copyright there. Let's just say your man in Ireland who follows the weather. Never thought of that. Yeah, it's fairly moving, alright. It'd be quite windy up here. Now, just to add a bit of oomph before we get down to the ground for our landing. Yes. Yes, I think so. Do we all approve? Sean asks, in your opinion, how accurate is the real-life weather in-game? When it works, very accurate. When it works. Irish Weather Chaser would be the right name for it, says Mad Steve. Or your man simply who followed the weather. He went out one day when it was windy, and he tried to follow it. He didn't come back till the following Tuesday.
Hey, good morning.
Chloe Quinn is now following. Many thanks, Chloe. Over in the land of Twitch. Do hope you're having a pleasant evening. And welcome along to the madness. Skyfly says, how do you change the time in flight? So go up to your main menu. You have a little drop down. Go over to the cloud icon. And this bar here, drag it and move it around. Okay, so we want to find Kerry Airport. That is our destination. We will be breaking through the clouds in a couple of minutes. Chloe says, looks great. High five. Keane says, the man from the Premier County who has the storm as his bounty. Captain Frank says, what a stunning view. When is stormfrancis supposed to hit? The real heavy stuff is due to hit at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. As Violin Mania has just subscribed. I like that name, Violin Mania. You're very welcome to the channel, and many thanks for the subscription, dude. If you see pixelation in the clouds, do you have to turn down the settings? Not really. Sticky rights, no. If you see pixelation, it's a limitation of the sim, and again, it's still relatively unoptimized, even though it's heavily optimized. Papa Joe B, your passengers are asking for lids for the drink cups and straws. It's getting really it's getting really messy back here. And the occasional sound effect, or Huey and Ralph. Huey and Ralph. Yeah, they're there. Both Huey and Ralph, they're having the crack. Ethan Short says, think I'm going to pop out for a bit, might be back later. How long do you stream for? Not terribly long, Ethan, but don't worry. I stream every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. The Monday and Wednesdays will probably just do kind of a 2-hour gig, and then Friday, because I don't have much to do on a Saturday, that's when we kind of go all out. Matt Steve says, that would be the right sunset to land in Faro, Portugal. Great view from when you're landing on the coast. Nice. Zico says, that looks insane. It really does, doesn't it? It's so pretty. Stuart asks, Murph, what servers you use to stream Microsoft Flight Sim? I use OBS Studio. Echo India says, I nearly met Huey and Ralph in the gym today. COVID belly is fighting back. It's not ready to be worked off. It's coming into winter, man. You might as well just kind of leave the insulation there. Matthew Heeds, how are you doing, bud? Very well, Matthew. I hope you're keeping well, dude. Happy Monday to you. Alan Mead says, unreal view. It really is, guys. It's spectacularly beautiful. As we're going to start coming down through some clouds now, check a little VFR map. So we want to go over the far side of Kerry. We're going to use Dingle then when we burst through the clouds, make a sharp left turn, and hopefully land into the wind. Stuart Payne says Streamlabs just doesn't show up. Yeah, I used to use Streamlabs, but I just use the standard OBS now. It seems to capture it better with less headaches. Fleco de Buenos Aires is here. He's spectacular, he says. Fantastico. Muchas gracias. Look at the way we're even going through the clouds. How much wind, he says. 32 knots right against the nose. Although if we're flying into the wind now, that means we gotta land this direction, which means we're gonna have a hell of a crosswind. Okay. We'll figure this one out. We're good at figuring stuff out. I hope. So we're gonna pitch to our left here, or roll to our left rather. JMS61 says, I wonder if my two-stroke trike would handle this. Can't be as bad as the fast crossings on the Irish Sea. The amount of people talking to Huey the Great White Telephone, says Ken Norton. Epic. So you're saying I had mic issues as well. You may see the stream that I linked. Yeah. Stuart, if you want, some evening, over a virtual glass of wine, I'd be happy to share some of my OBS settings, if they're any help to you, and maybe use them as kind of a benchmark and then add in a couple of things yourself, if that helps. Pixel Chaser says, do it. Oh, it's going to be done. We're going to leave this beautiful view though. We're going to go back into the soup now. And then things are going to get crazy. Because we won't be able to see much. Okay, so we're now moving away from Kerry. We want to come around here and then turn back in on ourselves. So what we're doing is okay so far. Into the chaos. Trini JF, hi everyone from Catalonia. Good evening from Ireland. In honour of the little caravan that could. Stuart Payne says, in the words of Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Cigarettes, of course I am. Nice. Russian Viewer 2 is here. Where are we flying to? We're on approach back towards Kerry Airport. We took off from Kerry on our initial flight. We eventually found the storm. We managed to somehow break through the clouds with our 27 knot winds here. We're now down to 5,000 feet. Speed is looking kind of alright. We're well in the soup now. Not much to see from this angle. But let's see how we get on. Are we going to go Cork tonight? Maybe not tonight. We'll do something maybe on Friday back in Ireland. I think the stream on Wednesday, guys, if you want to do some multiplayer action, we're going to hop on over to the Grand Canyon. I found a little airport that's called Temple Bar, and we must. So I'm thinking if we take off from Monument Valley, head west through the Grand Canyon, and then head into Las Vegas into McCarran Airport. That will be the plan. I kind of expect it to bounce around more, but don't forget the wind is on our tail, so we're cutting through it at the minute. But I predict once we turn this machine around, we're going to be getting all sorts of bumps and bruises. Speak of the devil, there's bumps and bruises. That's twice that's happened. Holy moly. Skyfly Bryce says, sounds good to me. I will see you in the Grand Canyon. Spark and VR says, which plane for the Grand Canyon? Nothing too fast, because I want to be able to get down into the canyon. And if there's a couple of mad places to land. Now, bearing in mind, the Cub is quite slow. It'll take us a long time to do it. If we were to fly the Caravan, it would take us about an hour and 25 minutes for the flight. So I'm thinking maybe a Cessna. Maybe the 172 or even the 152, just to keep it interesting. Huey and Ralph are somewhere in the back. I can hear them. A two-stroke trike. Stuart says, did you spy on me? Captain Frank says, you should visit the aliens in Area 51. Yeah. Double Expert 103 is here. I'm late, but hello. That's okay. Hello. You're very welcome to tonight's stream. Jay says, great views. Well, I like the lighting. But it's bouncy as hell, as we have 22 knots coming against the nose here. And we want to be very careful because, well, we can't defy gravity for much longer. So we need to be careful. So the plan is turn somewhere towards Kerry Airport, which I think is roughly this direction. And just be very careful with our altitude. So according to... we're at 29 or 56 inches of mercury. As Dinky 1518 is here. Hey Murph. Good evening, Dinky. I hope you're keeping well. Philip Breen says, pick a 747 for the laugh, Murph. Could you imagine it? It'll be like, hello everybody and welcome to tonight's stream. We're just about to take off here from Monument Valley. And that's all for tonight, folks. Thanks for joining and we'll see you on the next one. Martian sandstorm, that's what it looks like. And now what's terrifying is, I don't know at what level are we going to see the ground. And I kind of need to see the ground. As Swagger FPS is now following over on Twitch. Many thanks, my dude. Don't forget, guys, if you're new to this channel and you like this content, shameless plug coming. Don't forget you can like, subscribe, follow, and click the little bell if you're on YouTube, or hit the follow button if you're on the Twitch, or simply Twitch. People give out to me for saying "the" in front of things. F-14 Tomcat, oh, that'd be nice. He says, if you ever fly over Russia, can you check out OMSK? Yeah, 100%. Okay, 2,000 feet, Murph, you can probably set this machine down a little bit. Is the 80s in game you could tune to find out when you'll see the ground? Echo India. I could.
Hey, good morning.
As we have a hey good buddy from Dinky 1518. Many thanks, my dude. Nearest airport list is going to be Kerry. And it's going to be Atis.
Kerry Airport information, Charlie 1900 Zulu. Flight 263 at 17. Hey, good morning. Tree.
Many thanks, Joel.
Few clouds at 800 feet. Hey, good morning. 4,500 feet.
T Black 757 is now following. Many thanks, my dude.
Temperature 14. Dew point 10. Altimeter 29.60. ILS runway 26 in use. Landing and departing.
Okay, so we're talking 800 feet of a ceiling here. So I can kind of see the runway on our visual instruments here. So, yeah. Let's see if we can trust our... What's this gadget called again? That guy.
Hey, good morning.
So 1,100 feet. We're coming in high and fast. So we have a bit of flaps coming down here. Synthetic vision, that's the one. Okay, let's see if we can concentrate here now. Guys, if I miss any of the notifications, just drop your name in chat and we'll... I can see the... Oh, look at that, I can see the runway. This mightn't be as bad. Although, God almighty, it's horrendously bumpy. Stay on course.
500.
500 feet. Okay, there's nothing to fear. Except for... Oh, God. Come on, Betsy. We're kind of aligned on the glide slope, which is good. Now we're low. Oh god. Oh god. 75 knots. Be careful of our stall speed. I have a whole load of rudder and I'm bouncing the joystick from kind of left to right to try and counter the winds here. 14 knots isn't that bad, but there's a lot of shake. Steady. Steady. Quickly put a candle in the window. Cross your fingers, toes, arms and legs. Runway 26 never looked as good. Don't break it, Murph. There's going to be a prize if you can land this. No, don't go that way. Go this way. Don't run out of runway. Easy. Oh. Back wheels are down. Front wheel is down. Well. And the Oscar goes to Huey and Ralph, keeping us entertained for the flight. Bring our flaps back in as we taxi back to the ramp here in Kerry. Look at that, it's almost zero visibility here. Nice. And the crowd goes wild. And Elise is here, good evening to you. That was a great landing, says Sparker and VR. Many thanks, my dudes. Fair play, says Alan. Philip Breen says nice. Rav says nice. Wow, it's dark there, says Scott. It surely is. Kia says, I'm so glad I'm not flying with Murph Airlines. It'll be Two-Tone Airlines. We'll get you there most of the time. Larry Underwood is here. Good evening to you. QWERTY Pro is here. Flight to Louisiana on the simulator earlier today. Going to check out 2 incoming hurricanes. Nice. Murph, did you just miss your turn off like a complete noob? Or can we turn off down here? Hang on, wait, what? So this is why I didn't become a pilot in real life, because I'd be like, okay, we're at the airport, but now we're lost. You didn't need to turn around at all. This is where the premium content comes. For those of you who have subscribed to the channel, this is the bonus footage you get to see. To be fair, I'm only doing this to air out the back. We have the windows open. Huey and Ralph are just slowly but surely getting the colours back into their face. As I do for me, as the backlit is now following. Many thanks, my dude. I was a very clear sheet of white, if that made any sense. But we're on the ground and I'm happy about that. So, turn off the flight directors. And we'll try and keep this now on the straight and narrow. So, transponder, we're kind of finished with you now. We've got to stand by. We'll click back on this. All that looks kind of okay. As we taxi back, airing out the inside of the airplane. Try the Meatloaf Force, Huey and Ralph. They're here through Thursday. Oh yeah. Avitab is a big need, it really is. Aaron says, you should make an airline livery for your channel. That'd be pretty sweet. I'll leave that up to the talented artist people, because I have the art skills of... How do I say this and give it some sort of like gravitas, so you'll say, yeah, no, that's pretty bad. It'll come to me at some stage. Matt Steve says, not even Ryanair and the trusty Boeing 737s can land as good as that. Now, Murph, don't miss the turn off. You have a fierce habit of doing that. You'd easily know I wasn't paying for the fuel.
Hey, good morning.
As we swing here to the right, as Colin Smith has just prescribed. Many thanks, Colin. Don't go off there. That's grand. Everything's fine. It's absolutely fine. So, landing lights can now come off. I'll probably get our strobes off here now as well. As we're going to park over here, and as soon as we open the door, we're literally just going to flow outside of the aircraft. No taxi lights, yeah. Skyfly says, the only problem with the simulator is I'm spending far too much playing with it. Oh yeah. Looking at the controls hurts my eyes, says the Battlet. Yeah. We shall see. Okay, where are you directing me to? Like, there's a straight line here, dude. Watch Jimmy's head. Okay, we're looking good, we're looking good, we're looking good, we're looking good. Alright. So, park and brake can now come to on. And let me see here. Lights, they're all good. Fuel, bring it down to low idle. Engines are slowly and surely coming down. I landed at Heathrow. It's such a long taxi, I decided to take off. Fly 10 feet above the ground. Everyone should know the feeling of a streamer responding to their comments. Yeah. If I miss anything, just remind me again. I do try. I do try. So, let me see. Lights. Taxi lights off. Very good. Beacons can stay on. Seatbelts can now come off as they literally flow out of their seats because they've just turned into some sort of gooey liquid. What's this one? Master battery. Now we need you on. Fuel boost can come off. Avionics can now come to off. Ignition is set to normal. Starter motor is already off. Alternator can stay reset and off. And engine's off. Sounds good. Starter motor is already off. And we have some lights here just to keep an eye on it. We've thumbs up here from our dude in front. And last but not least, our battery comes off. Alrighty. Complete with head torch so we can see what's going on. Well, holy humbugs. Welcome to Kerry Airport. Well guys, in anticipation of Storm Francis, we've got a sneak peek of it, and it looks angry and mean and unforgiving. So let's bear that in mind. Stay safe, help your neighbours, and if you live on your own, don't worry, we're back on Wednesday. My thanks to everyone here tonight, both on YouTube and on Twitch. We had a whole load of new subscribers, new follows. Many thanks again to Echo India for your kindness. And we will, of course, use the Echo India Juliet Oscar Romeo as a show of our appreciation. So guys, look after yourselves, keep safe. I really hope you enjoyed the stream. Don't forget we're over on Discord. And if you need any help or advice, or if you have any stories you want to share, or pictures you want to show us from your own flights or streams, share away. We'd love to see it. So until Wednesday, catch you later. Stay safe. We have to go back for that. Got Mullet 1985 has just subscribed. Many thanks, my dude, and good night. And we have to mention Friends Plays. Right, I'm out of here. Good night.